Hello everybody, welcome to Awesome Rusty Bucket. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and drop a like on this video. I'm trying to hit 100k on this channel by the end of the year, so your subscription would be much appreciated. I'm really tired right now, so if my energy is low, that would be why. So today's video, I'm going to be speculating a little bit about Kawhi Leonard, and the reason I frame this as speculation is because unfortunately, the rumors surrounding this potential thing have been pretty muddy. There's been quite a few reports suggesting that Kawhi Leonard is interested in looking around in free agency and seeing what he can get. And because of that, there are multiple teams that are actually trying to pursue it. There's the Dallas Mavericks and the Miami Heat who are at the top of my mind in that regard. And because of that, sorry, not because of that. On top of that, there have been rumors in the opposite direction where it's like Kawhi is signing an extension with the Clippers. That's the end of it. And we're seeing both of these kind of clash. And I just want to talk about whether or not, regardless of whether or not Kawhi actually leaves the Clippers, I just want to talk about what that might look like if he does, and maybe whether or not he should. So that's what this video is going to be. First of all, let's just talk about the Clippers end of things in terms of them bringing Kawhi back and their argument for him to return. Of course, they were essentially 2 games, or I guess 1 game out of no, it was 2 wins away from a finals appearance, and that was with Kawhi Leonard only playing the start of the series because he then, of course, had his injury. Speaking on that injury, Kawhi is likely not going to play most of the upcoming season, which is obviously going to hinder the Clippers' standings and really just any team that would sign him. But that is a big factor, is that he needs the right place to rehabilitate. Of course, he had that issue with his quad back with the Spurs, and that's eventually what led to that relationship going bad. And it seems there's stuff to suggest that the Clippers once again, or not once, not like they've done it twice, but once again for Kawhi Leonard, the medical staff kind of failed him, and that's some of the reason why people are speculating on him potentially moving around. I mentioned earlier the potential teams that would be moving people. I'm trying to find the section of the app that has all of the teams so that I don't miss any potential teams. So the main ones are the Dallas Mavericks and the Miami Heat. Pretty much every other team that I could think of is kind of locked in their cap space, or just isn't really a team that Kawhi would probably be all that interested in going to. So the Heat and the Mavericks make quite a bit of sense. The Mavericks obviously have Luka Doncic. The Heat obviously have Jimmy Butler. I'd be worried about the fit first and foremost with the Heat with Jimmy Butler, because Kawhi and him like to operate in a similar area, mid-range game, going to the rim, not, going off of the dribble, things like that, a couple of post-ups here and there. And because of that, it makes me hesitant in that. At the end of the day, I think it's going to work just fine. Defensively, that would obviously be awesome, but I do have hesitance in that fit. On the Luka Doncic front on the Dallas Mavericks, there's absolutely no hesitance there. Now, the Mavericks would have to clear some cap space, as would the Heat, but I think they have the tradable contracts to make something like that happen. They might have to move draft assets and young players as a result, but you're obviously perfectly willing to do that in exchange for Kawhi Leonard. For an on-court fit, Luka Doncic is a great playmaker and shot creator, and Kawhi can focus more on his scoring and his defense, not having to worry about being a shot creator and playmaker for other people as he has on the Clippers, because that's just been a big weakness of that team. It's not a weakness of the Mavericks with Luka running the show, so he can focus more so on his strengths and not focus as much on his more weaker areas of his game, though his playmaking has improved to the point that I wouldn't say it's an outright weakness. But yeah, he'd also bring obviously defense to this team that otherwise, perimeter defense wise, is not that great. And a testament to that is that Kawhi has been guarded by Maxi Kleber the last 2 years, and I actually think Maxi has done a damn good job relative to what you might expect, because he's a very good defensive player, but he does not have the speed advantage on Kawhi, and Kawhi takes advantage as a result. You would be able to have a really good wing defender out there, which the team previously didn't have. Obviously, both of these teams will move mountains to make Kawhi on their team happen. In terms of teams that I'd like to see Kawhi go on, besides for those, it'd be like the Denver Nuggets. Obviously, I'd like to see him on the Bulls, but that's never going to happen. The Warriors is a thing that has been rumored, but I don't really see how they're clearing the cap space to make that happen. I mean, I guess if you knew Kawhi was going to come and you were like, okay, number 7, number 14, someone take on Wiggins' salary, I could see a world where that goes through. You'd have to take back some money back, but you could probably find a team that is well under the cap and burden them with that salary, but in exchange get a lot of space cleared so that you can sign Kawhi. But I don't think that one's going to be happening. Another team that'd be interesting is the Sixers, but it's a similar thing where they really aren't going to be able to clear the cap space unless they just give away Ben Simmons, which, I mean, I might do that to get Kawhi Leonard on the team. In fact, I would, but I don't know. Yeah, it's an interesting situation in that regard. And after that, every other team. I mean, it'd be kind of cool to see him on the Portland Trail Blazers. Once again, money doesn't really line up, but that would be cool. Dame and Kawhi as an interesting duo. But yeah, that is some of the teams I'd be interested in seeing him on. As of right now, of course, I'm relatively confident he's going to sign with the Clippers. Now, what's really interesting about Kawhi's free agency this offseason is whether or not he will sign a long-term extension or a short-term extension, because obviously he has this injury that's going to result in him not playing much of next year. Health is always a concern with Kawhi, but at the same time, he really likes having the leverage. He likes having the ability to dictate where he goes in the short term. Having a short contract means he can opt out and be like, okay, I'm done with this team and I can move on. That's the reason why he signed a 2+1 to begin with the Clippers, and I could very well see him doing something like that again, or even a 1+1. But really, if I was in his shoes, I understand the want to compete, the want to make sure you're always in a position to contend. Granted, constantly being in a position where you want to jump ship is not exactly the most loved method in the NBA in terms of like fanfare and having people like you. But from a financial perspective, I feel like I'd rather just sign a supermax extension with the Clippers and deal with the consequences of that, but get paid crazy amounts of money when your health is definitely a bit of a concern. I could definitely see Kawhi Leonard leaving the Clippers. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility, but anyone who is trying to make a safe bet will bet that he returns to the Clippers, so that would be my prediction. That being said, I don't know that I'd necessarily want to see him leave the team, other than the fact that it's always interesting when a big player moves. But yeah, I just want to talk about that. Not much to really say in that regard, so I'm not going to bother rambling to extend the video. But yeah, that's the Kawhi Leonard situation. I'm pretty sure he's just going to stay with the Clippers, but there's been some rumors and maybe potentially smoke and mirrors, so we can only wait and see. But that's what this video was. All right, that's it. Goodbye.